getting to be a tradition. I got to get it my hand up quick, Kalani. We were just talking to Jacob, and obviously we've talked to Baylor, we've talked to Jaron. What's it been like watching these guys, and what have you liked? What do you want to see from them as they battle for the most high-profile position?
Yeah, I like the competition. I like that they all they have a high sense of confidence, and that's because they've worked hard, and now we got this great competition going on, and you're seeing the best out of them every day. And so I think their job is to make it really hard on us as far as who to choose, and so far they're doing a good job at it. And so it's just nice to have a bunch of guys that can play in a lot of different positions, and definitely helps out when they're playing quarterback. So we'll keep it rolling, and I'm just proud of those guys and the professionalism that they have around each other and around the team, and just the high competitiveness that they have also. It's being a good example for the rest of the guys that are competing for spots right now too.
I also wanted to ask just about Mick Hill. Saw the notification about his retirement, and obviously he's meant a lot to BYU football. Just some thoughts on him or stories about him, what he's meant to this program.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to say goodbye to Mick, and he was here when I was a player, and so I'm really thankful that I got to be the head coach, and that he was in the equipment room with us, and we've had, I think, just goes to show the type of people that are around our players, and how much of an impact they have on our lives. And so all these great mentors that we've had, that I've been able to have as a player, and seeing them impact others' lives, and specifically with our football players, it's just a great sight to see, and really thankful for the things that Mick has done in all his years of service, decades of service. And we're gonna miss him. He's always welcome back here. It's his home, but we're thankful for all the work that he's done, the sacrifice, and the lives that he's influenced here.
All right, let's go Mitch and then Hunter.
Hey, Kalani, what's just talked with Jacob. What's some of your memories of that recruitment, getting Jacob to sign with BYU, and what he maybe meant to that recruiting class? Just some of the characteristics that you saw in him as a recruit.
Yeah, I mean, when we talked to him and we were able to work with him, I think the most for me the most impressive thing was him being a recruiter for us when he was committed to us, and we had to battle with him a little bit, because there was a lot of teams coming after him, and he stuck with it, and not only that, but he was able to call and make some recruiting calls, trying to keep. I mean, that's what great quarterbacks do, is they want to make sure that they have good targets to throw to, and they want to make sure that they have linemen to protect them. And so it was a really good moment. But he's a guy that you didn't have to ask him to do stuff. He was always on top of it from the very beginning, and that's just the way he's been as a player. He took advantage of all the reps that he got as a scout team quarterback, and against our defense. And I walked in at tail end when he was saying that he was able to go against them. He gave our defense a lot of issues and a lot of fits with his accuracy and his ability to make plays and make great accurate throws. And so he's just the type of guy that whenever faced with adversity, or even faced with things that aren't ideal, he'll turn it around and make it a positive, and learn and grow from it. And that's exactly what our culture is all about here on this team, and he's a perfect fit for our program.
You're a third of the way through practices. I believe today was day 5. How are you guys health-wise? Is there still an optimistic outlook on having a spring game at the conclusion of this? Where are you at in terms of health? Yeah,
we're hopeful for that. I mean, I think we've got some little bit guys that are banged up here and there, but that happens with a physical sport. But we've been able to get a lot of 11-on-11 football, and we keep working with that. I think we're going to ramp it up a little bit more too as we go on, especially working towards the tail end of spring ball. Right now we're still in the install phase, trying to get as much as we can in there before we scrimmage and before we go a lot of the live work. So I feel really good with the team. I feel really good about the coaching and the things that I've seen from the leadership and the progress that I'm seeing from a lot of our younger guys that are developed, and the competition's been really good. So I'm really excited about what I'm seeing from the team right now, and we'll just keep building on this. Last year we were cut around this time, where we're done. I think we're done after practice 5, and so now we'll try to make the next 10 count and try to make sure that we can help this, get us into good momentum going into the off season and going into fall camp.
Coach, are you maybe looking to add any more players to the roster through the transfer portal or anything like that?
Yeah, recruiting is always. I mean, even with it being a dead period, for it seems like it keeps getting extended. We're gonna do as much as we can in recruiting. So recruiting always happens. It's a year-round thing. So anytime and I'm always looking to improve our team and get it better. And there's a lot of guys that I think fit our program, and we'll just keep working with that. So as long as the portal happens, we've got to make sure that we check into it and make sure that they're good fit for what we're doing here at BYU and want to commit to what we're about.
What's maybe something that you saw from week 1 of spring practices that you either want to improve on or build on here in week 2?
Well, there's just so much room for improvement. I mean, I think develop depth is the key. We want to make sure that we have more than just 11 starters on offense and 11 stars on defense, and then we're getting a good amount of special teams work in as well. So we've got to focus. Everyone talks about offense, defense, but I think the third phase special teams is just as important, and they can win you games. So we're going to focus on those things and keep working on the fundamentals. I see a lot of great development from our players, and you can see guys have made some sacrifices, getting their bodies right and making sure that they got bigger and stronger, and we're trying to put it to work on the field. Right now, from what I'm seeing, I think I like the way it's working. I think we have a good chance.
Ben and then Mitch.
Coach, just kind of piggybacking off recruitment, Mitch's question and Hunter's question, what makes BYU an attractive destination right now to play at? If you were to kind of encompass it and describe it as in a pitch, like what makes it attractive to recruits right now?
Well, I would say right when you ask that question, I think the opportunity to grow and learn. It's the fact that BYU is hard is the key. It's a difficult place as far as academics. It'll test you in academics. Obviously, we're going to put you in an uncomfortable position in football and try to get the most out of you in football, and then you have to commit to a lifestyle that's unique and different than anywhere else out in the country. So I think we hang our hat on the fact that this is going to be a tough go at it, but you're going to learn a lot of great things about yourself. It's very similar to what you do on a mission. We love our missions, those that have served missions, because it was hard and because there's so much growth took place in those 2 years. And I think there's an opportunity for these young men here, whether they're here for 4, 5 years, 2 years, or even 1 year as a transfer, great opportunity for them to grow and get better. And we feel like our culture is built on love and learn, and I think you can really thrive for those guys that are looking for a way to test themselves and get better.
We see kind of the different mantras that come out and goals and visions that have come out of the football program. What makes that culture that you described unique in the grand scheme of things, and what makes it your culture that you've created there?
Well, first of all, it's not like I'm the one that's creating all this stuff. This is what we work with as a society, and what we work with that's very similar to what we do in the gospel. And so for me to sit here and act like it's an original idea for me, is it's not. I obviously it's been around, and there's some things that Lavelle did that I think really carry over and are good things, and there's things that even Croton and Bronco, during their time, it'd be foolish of me not to learn from the guys that have been here before and have done it right. And then I want to make sure that I keep building on that. And so if for me, you just follow, we get religious here is just follow the example of Christ in everything, and I think that's an easy formula to follow for all of us, and whether we're young or old. And I'm trying to keep working on that. And it's not about, I don't think it's about being perfect. It's about effort and being your best self. And so I think President Nelson talked about the Lord loves effort. I think that's a great statement there.
Kalani, Mick Hill's staff, the equipment staff, is kind of rebranded a little bit as player experience staff. And I'm curious, is the player experience, is it kind of a byproduct, like you have to almost recruit players every single day in your program in this era of the transfer portal? Do you think like that at all, where you have to make sure that you're winning your guys over every day they're in the program and also on the recruiting trail?
No, not really. I mean, I feel like there's reasons for guys to leave and reasons for guys to be added here, and so that's part of the whole attrition. That's just part of football, and the transfer portal makes it easier and more difficult in a lot of different ways. So to put it all in one general statement, it's really hard to do that for me. But I feel like if you're kind of going with what we're doing here as a program and what our mission statement is as a university and as a football program, I think it'll be okay. But there's guys that want to play more and want to look at other opportunities to play, and I get that too. I just don't think it has to be a negative issue. I think there's a way that we can communicate with our players and see what's best for them and see what's best for us, and then come to a conclusion that will make everybody happy. At least I want more guys that are committed to what we're doing here, and whether someone's not being their best self or can be their best self somewhere else, I think the key is for them to find a way and be in an environment where they can thrive. And so I think just being transparent, have an open discussion with players, and then seeing what they're all about, seeing what their passions are about, and then come to a really good conclusion on where they fit the best. And maybe it's a position change, maybe it's a wholesale change as a different location, but I don't think it's a negative thing. We're talking about them and their dreams. I think if you just don't do anything and don't do anything about it, then that doesn't do anyone any good, whether it's a coaching staff or a player.
All right, we're going to do last two questions. Jake Edmonds and then Dick Harmon.
Hey, Coach. Going back to Jacob's interview, he mentioned he kind of characterized himself as a pocket passer that can also run the ball, which seems like a lot of quarterbacks could say that. But how would you characterize him, and what makes him unique? What kind of sets him apart?
Well, I think all the quarterbacks have something that's unique about all of them, But if we're talking about Jacob specifically, the guy's a winner. You look what he's done in high school, and he's a great leader, and he works hard. And so I think he's creative, and he does a lot of great things. And there's never a job that's too little for him or too big. So I think Jacob's got a bright future, and it all depends on when his time starts. It's up to him, and I think the competition is going to get the best out of all those guys, and he's embracing the competition, just like Jaron and Baylor and Sojay and the rest are.
Lonnie, you have a developmental program, and Chris Wilcox was a great example of what you tried to do when you get the measurables. Who would you think would be another candidate to take a step like that in your development, as you try to get the people that could fit in, and then you try to build them into what you want?
Oh, I think everybody's got opportunities to develop, but you look at, I think when you mentioned that, the one that stood out to me the most is like Blake Freeland, who was a quarterback in high school, and his first live reps in a game was his true freshman year against Boise State, against a really good D-end. I think it was Weaver was his name, right? And so I think he's got a lot of ability, but a lot of our players are developmental guys. Look at how many guys that we bring in as safeties and turn them to linebackers, or that we bring as linebackers, turn them to D-ends, and we've a guy like Harris LaChance that he comes in and he's a beanpole off his mission, and now he's a big monster. You never thought that a couple years ago he was struggling to put on weight. And so I think everybody wants to play right away. That's everyone's goal. But there also has to be a goal of where we feel like and we can maximize their potential on the field, and maybe that's position change, or maybe it's just guys that you feel like have the great foundation to develop on. And Chris specifically had tons of speed. We just need him more experience, and he took his lumps along the way, true freshman year, and and I think he's developed into a fine player. But I think a lot of players, if you're looking on our depth chart, can fit that developmental part, and everyone can develop.
So Dick was asking about, are you going to be having any activities that showcase that you also like to have fun, Kalani? So like you're grateful, you disseminate this attitude of gratitude, and you showcase it by maybe having fun and kind of having a good time. I think that's what was that right, Dick?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it annoys people that when I try to have as much fun as I can with the players, but that's just me trying to be myself, And I remember someone said, "Well, Lavelle never did that." And yeah, that's true, but I got to be myself. Lavelle asked me to be myself, and I think I'm not going to be shy when it comes to the players want to see me dance. I'm going to do it. Just have fun with it, and I never said it would be good. I just said I would do it, right? So I'm willing to do a lot of things, and especially if my players want it and if they request it, then I'm gonna do whatever I can to make people happy and let them know that I'm not against making myself look like a fool sometimes if it's gonna make some people smile.
All right, thanks, Kalani.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Stay safe.